Welcome to the Information Processing 2100 instructional video on topic 2.10, Appendices and Indexes. So an appendix is an additional chapter, usually in the back of a book, that is outside of the normal chapter numbering. And an index is a place where you could look for a quick topic and find the exact page it's on. If you are working in Google Docs, or in Word, an appendix is easy to do. You do it like any other chapter. So you'd give it your title or your heading 1 heading. But this time, instead of calling it a chapter, you call it, say, Appendix A. So we have Appendix A, we highlight, give it heading 1, and then it appears at the end, as it will appear in our table of contents. And that table of contents gets updated. Now, a proper index, unfortunately, is not supported by Google Docs. We can write one manually, but as far as I know, there's no way to have it automatically generated for us. Now, with Microsoft Word, we do the appendix the same way. We call it Appendix A, we select it, and we format it with that heading 1 style that we used for our previous chapters, and then it will appear as such in the table of contents when we update. For the index, we'd have to go to References, but the web-based version doesn't have that option. So once again, we have to go to the print version. So here, let's say we're talking about quadratic equations. We can mark the entry as equations. Say the sub-entry is quadratic. And we'll mark it. So we can see when the codes are revealed, which is one of the views that we have. We can turn that reveal codes off, but we can see it there. And then following our works cited field, we can insert an index, and that will appear. So equations, specifically quadratic equations, appear on page 1. So this is how we do it in Microsoft Word. Again, it requires the downloadable version. Now we can do both in LaTeX fairly easily. Remember, appendices and indexes are usually in the back of the book. So we want to actually tell LaTeX that we're looking at back matter now. Sorry, not back batter, back matter. Now it will understand what I'm trying to say. And we can have a chapter on equations. And when we recompile our document, it shows up under equations at the end. But notice it didn't have that chapter 1. It's just equations, because the chapter's in the backbender, so now it's an appendix. Now, if we want to do an index, we can also do that automatically. So we're going to need to use a package that will make an index. And before we actually get into the document itself, in what we call the preamble, we tell it, yeah, we want you to make an index. Now, when we're doing our content, we can put in an index. We'll actually put one in math. Oh, I forgot it auto-completes that. So we can write in a quadratic equation, and then our index entry would be equations, that vertical line, and quadratic. And then where we want it to appear, we print the index. And now as we are generating our content, oh, we have one error. Okay, so it's not supposed to be that type. I forget which it was. But now our error has gone away. Come down, we see our beautifully formatted math equation here. And then after the bibliography, we have an index that tells us equations quadratic appear on page 9.